This frantic, panicked behavior sends a massive warning signal to a woman's subconscious. It tells her that your internal peace is entirely dependent on external conditions, and that if a simple dinner can rattle your composure, you will completely crumble when faced with real life crises. A stoic man handles this exact same situation with complete, unbothered relaxation. He understands a core truth of reality. You cannot control the kitchen, the crowd, or the sudden lulls in conversation, but you have absolute total control over how you choose to respond. Instead of panicking or fighting the situation, you lean back, smile through the awkwardness, and remain completely centered. If the food is late, you laugh it off and use the time to enjoy being present. If the conversation goes quiet, you don't frantically try to save it with forced jokes. You sit comfortably in the silence without a care in the world. When a woman watches the world crumbling slightly around you and she sees that absolutely none of it can rattle your core or steal your smile, she experiences a profound psychological shift. She instantly feels safe, deeply grounded, and incredibly at ease in your presence because she realizes she is sitting across from a true rock who can handle the storm without breaking a sweat. Now, let's pivot to the most challenging, emotionally charged test you will ever face in modern dating. The moment she begins to pull away and create emotional distance. This is where 99% of men completely destroy their chances, torching months of progress in a matter of days. It usually starts subtly. Her text responses become shorter, she takes hours instead of minutes to reply, or she suddenly cancels a plan with a vague excuse. The second the average man senses this shift, a wave of deep rooted insecurity floods his system, and he immediately plunges into a frantic panic mode. His brain screams that he is losing her, so he tries to force her back through sheer, desperate effort. He starts calling more often, double texting to check if she's mad, asking her what's wrong, and practically begging for her attention and validation. This needy reaction is an absolute attraction killer. It validates her decision to pull away, confirming to her that you are emotionally fragile, dependent on her approval for your happiness, and lacking a life of your own. A stoic man handles emotional distance with an entirely different, incredibly powerful mindset. He operates from a place of radical acceptance and self assured detachment. He fully recognizes that he cannot control her actions, her feelings, or her freedom to step back. He can only control his own internal response. Instead of chasing after her, suffocating her with attention, or demanding an explanation, he takes a firm, calm step back and gives her the exact space she is creating. He doesn't send an angry paragraph, he doesn't play passive aggressive games, and he doesn't sit around staring at his phone waiting for a notification. He simply returns his focus entirely to his own life, his goals, his fitness, and his purpose. He leaves the door open, but he refuses to run down the hallway begging her to stay. When you possess the internal strength to give a woman space without panicking, the entire emotional dynamic of the relationship completely flips. In that space you've allowed, her psychology begins to process a completely unexpected reality. She realizes that you are fundamentally different from every other desperate guy she has ever dealt with. She notices that your world didn't stop spinning just because she stepped back, and that you aren't afraid of losing her because you are entirely secure in yourself. Suddenly, the mystery is restored. Her curiosity is reignited, and she begins to wonder why you are so unbothered. The fear of losing a high value, unshakable man shifts from your mind into hers. By remaining grounded and refusing to chase, you stop being the beggar and naturally become the prize that she feels compelled to pursue. At the absolute end of the day, you have to completely step away from the exhausting cycle of playing manipulative dating games, calculating your response times, and trying to meticulously sculpt yourself into the man you think a woman wants you to be. It is a completely losing strategy that drains your energy and hollows out your masculine core. When you spend your life trying to guess what kind of personality, what kind of car, or what kind of lifestyle will make a specific woman like you are living as a secondary character in your own movie. You are essentially shifting your shape just to please an external audience. And women can sense that lack of authenticity from a mile away. It signals that you don't possess a solid internal identity of your own. To truly change your reality, you must drop the masks, stop auditioning for approval, and make a radical commitment to shift your focus entirely inward, dedicating every ounce of your energy to living a life rooted in deep purpose, clear intention, and unshakable inner strength. When you fully commit to mastering your own mind, your entire psychological relationship with the world undergoes a profound transformation, and you completely stop seeking approval from anyone else. You no longer walk into a room wondering if people like you. Instead, you walk into a room already liking who you are, secure in your values, your vision, and your self worth. This internal shift changes everything because it completely removes the desperate, anxious edge that ruins so many interactions. When a woman speaks to you, she is no longer feeling the heavy weight of a man who needs her to smile or validate him just to feel good about his day. Your mind becomes a fortress of self containment, entirely unbothered by external criticism, superficial trends, or temporary romantic friction. You are no longer a leaf blowing around in the wind of other people's opinions. You are firmly anchored in your own reality. By achieving this level of mental discipline, you naturally become the calm in the storm, the grounded, unmovable rock that people instinctively want to lean on when the world around them becomes chaotic and unpredictable. Feminine energy is naturally drawn to masculine stability. And in a modern society where almost everyone is highly reactive, anxious, and easily triggered by the slightest bit of stress, a truly grounded man is an incredibly rare and magnetic force. When things go wrong, when plans fall through, or when emotional tension rises, you don't panic, complain, or get defensive. You simply absorb the impact, stay centered, and move forward with absolute clarity. Women don't just find this level of emotional resilience attractive, they find it profoundly comforting and safe. They realize that no matter how wild the storm gets, you possess the internal gravity to hold your ground and protect your peace. The beautiful irony of this ultimate mindset shift is that by consciously choosing to build yourself first, you completely stop chasing women altogether, and you naturally start becoming the exact kind of high value man that women instinctively choose to chase. You have to realize that true, authentic attraction can never be forced, begged for, or bought. It is a passive byproduct of who you are as a human being. When you prioritize your physical health, your financial stability, your mental fortitude, and your personal mission over the pursuit of romance, you build an incredibly rich, fulfilling life that doesn't require someone else to complete it. You become a complete, self sustaining universe. And that lack of desperation is the most intoxicating thing a woman can encounter. She sees a man who is going somewhere, a man who has standards, and a man who is entirely happy on his own, which naturally makes her want to become a meaningful part of his world. Now is the exact moment to take these principles out of the realm of abstract theory and aggressively turn them into real, daily action in your life. Self mastery is not a passive realization that happens overnight. It is a relentless, everyday practice of choosing composure over panic, purpose over short term pleasure, and self respect over cheap validation. The very next time you feel the urge to double text out of anxiety, the next time a date goes sideways and you feel a wave of panic, or the next time you feel tempted to pretend to be someone you aren't just to impress a girl, you must actively choose the path of stoic stillness. Master your impulses, discipline your thoughts, and take absolute ownership of how you show up in the world. When you finally lock in this mindset and take command of your inner kingdom, you won't just watch your dating life improve. You will watch your confidence, your career, your relationships, and your entire life completely transform before your eyes.